Good morning on Tuesday, the 19th of November, 2024. It's 8 a.m. in the Gambia and live on West Coast Radio. It's Coffee Time with me, Peter Gomez. Thanks for joining us. And Coffee Time is brought to you in association with partners led by TAF Africa Global, Bloombank Africa, Easy Financial Services, Global Properties, the Gambia Experience, WAVE, the U.S. Poultry and Egg Export Council, and GAM Food Trading.
Did you know service plots are now available at Baki? Welcome to Baki, Taft City's fourth residential estate.
Yes, service plots available at Barrow with 3 years interest-free payment plan with a minimum deposit of only $94,000, and it will come with fence plot, water reticulation, electricity, solar street lights, and bituminized internal roads. Are you ready to build your dream home for yourself?
Call us now.
And coming up over the next 2 hours, President Barrow sets off on another Meet the People tour, but not before finally filling vacancies in 2 ministries and creating a new ministerial portfolio. He also launched a new women's policy on what looked like a very taxing day for the president. Fonyi Kansala MP Almami Jiba warns of catastrophic consequences if the Gambian authorities do not intervene to stop alleged incursions into border territories in the Fonyi and harassment of local farmers. A concerned citizen makes his voice heard on the circular migration agreement signed with Spain. The Gambia, he claims, has in effect signed a deal to ship away its youths. Alhaji Barrow contributes 2 essays today. Sheriff Samsudin Sarr helps PASTEF celebrate its sweeping victory in Senegal's parliamentary elections. And I'm expecting 2 guests this morning. The government spokesman and presidential advisor, as announced yesterday, and lawyer and human rights activist Saliu Tal, who wants to talk about the 2025 budget. We'll also be off to Baku to hear from our environment minister about key challenges at COP29 and climate finance stalemates. Of course, we always have the Tuesday newspaper front pages. Thanks for joining us, and if you have anything to contribute to the program by way of a question or comment for our guests or anything you hear, you can get in touch, as always, on the usual numbers, 7711599 and 9910959 for regular text messages, and plus 220-9232-333 for WhatsApps.
Have you heard of CashUp? CashUp Gambia is a mobile wallet app that allows you to pay utility bills, buy mobile credit, and send up to $300 to anyone for absolutely free. With CashUp, you don't even need to have a smartphone to receive cash sent to you. You could use the code via text to cash in at any CashUp location in the Gambia at any time of the day or night, hassle-free. Forget long queues to buy cash power or looking for a mobile credit vendor or even lining up at the bank. CashUp is here to make any transaction possible with the movement of a thumb from the comfort of your home or anywhere you are. Download CashUp Gambia on Google Play Store or iOS today for absolutely free and enjoy the lowest fee in the Gambia. CashUp, fast, secure, mobile money.
We start this newspaper review with the point: Barrow promises farmers good price ahead of groundnut trade season. Commission frees Jaja Cham and gives stern warning. Police investigate $750,000 fraud. Government secures over $12 million to enhance climate resilience. Barrow appoints 3 new cabinet ministers, and D-League arrests suspect with 19 bags of skunk cannabis. Next, Foroya. 2 former lecturers drag UTG to court for unlawful termination of contract. President Barrow reshapes governance with new cabinet appointments. Police recover body of drowned seaport worker. KMC councillors admit receiving full payments for market exercise despite partial attendance. President Barrow unveils national gender policy and inaugurates Women's Council. Soldier whose vehicle fatally hit infant granted bail, and PASTEF scoops majority in parliamentary polls. Next, we pick up the Voices front page. Kande maintains 2021 presidential election process not free and fair. EU-funded project in Gambia aims to revolutionize organic fertilizer production. Gambia's AGOA opportunity. Are we ready to drive the trade revolution? President Barrow appoints new cabinet members. Indian national on the run after defrauding Ariane Trading Company of over $2.2 million. Ministry of Health and WHO launch Gambia Enforcers Guide and hold National Capacity Building Workshop. And finally, the Standard. 3 ministers appointed, 7 presidential advisors to get combined salary of $3.6 million in new budget. Solicitor General says memorandum of special tribunal due soon. President Barrow launches 10-year national gender policy. Lecturers sue UTG for unlawful dismissal. Local operators decry impact of all-inclusive package tourism. And VP launches trade logistics charter with vows to end decline in ports revenue generation. And that was your first look at Tuesday's newspaper front pages. We thank the editors and reporters of The Point, Foroya, The Voice, and The Standard.
The American Chicken Festival 2024 is here. Join us for the 2nd annual celebration of all things chicken on Saturday, November 23rd at Hyperlink Village, Palmer Junction, Bethel Harding Highway from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m.
Hello, I am Chef Boda. I'm excited to return for the 2nd annual Chicken Festival.
With over 40 international options from a diverse list of vendors. Music by DJ Wanjo, raffles, the variety show, and plenty of family-friendly fun.
From local to international, we got something for everyone.
Come see and taste the difference. Make it a date and don't be late.
It's Tuesday, the 19th of November, and live on West Coast Radio, I am Peter Gomez. It's coffee time. Thank you for joining us. President Barrow arrived in the North Bank region on Monday at the start of a 3-week tour dubbed Meet the People. It is constitutionally mandated. But how relevant in present-day Gambia is this presidential walkabout? Conceived when computers and mobile phones were unheard of in this country, and when you could count the number of tarred roads outside of Banjul with the fingers on one hand. Demba Ali Jawo has an opinion.
Once again, President Adam Barrow has embarked on his ritualistic Meet the People's tour, which will no doubt cost the Gambian taxpayers millions of dollars, even far much more than the amount budgeted for it. Yes, I said so because considering the numerous other hidden costs, such as the loss of several hours of work for those in the extraordinarily large entourage accompanying the delegation, the people of the various communities that would host them, as well as the fuel cost and wear and tear of the hundreds of government vehicles used on the tour. Of course, the tour is a constitutional provision, but is it really still necessary in this day and age, or is it a mere waste of public resources, as some people describe it? Well, it can be recalled that the Meet the Farmers tour was started by former President Sadauda Jawara in the 1970s, giving him the opportunity to interact with the farming community up-country and discuss their problems and constraints, as well as appraise them of the development agenda of his government. Considering the poor state of the country's road network, as well as the media and telecommunication system at that time, there was some justification in undertaking the tour, because there were inadequate means of reaching the people up country without meeting them in their localities at that time. For instance, apart from Radio Gambia and the then Radio Seed, none of which was in fact effectively available up country at the time, there were hardly any other means of interfacing with the farmers other than undertaking a countrywide tour. However, with such great improvement in both the road networks and the media and telecommunication system now, and with more than 30 radio stations available all over the country and 6 television stations, as well as the GSM network available all over the country, there is no any justification any longer to carry on with the tour in its present format. Both President Adam Barrow and members of his government have several options frequently to interface with the people, including visiting any part of the country within a few hours or using the numerous radio and television stations to reach them, instead of wasting millions of dollars every year to undertake such extravagant tours. However, while some supporters of the tour point out that a personal meeting with the people gives the president the opportunity to discuss their problems, but the fact is they are hardly given the opportunity to do so. Instead, speakers are usually carefully chosen and they are often given guidelines of what to say, which is usually to heap praises on President Barrow and his government rather than talk about issues directly affecting them. It is a well-known fact, for example, that instead of the national characteristic that the tour was supposed to take, it has now virtually become transformed into a political jamboree during which the people are encouraged or even coerced into renewing their allegiance to President Barrow and his National People's Party. Year in and year out, it is virtually the same issues that are being discussed during the tour, hardly justifying any amount being spent on it. Unlike what used to happen during the Jawara era, when permanent secretaries and other senior government officials were given center stage to explain government policies and programs affecting the farmers, the discussions now are mainly based on political issues that have very little relevance to the lives and livelihoods of the rural folk. Instead of discussing issues of concern to the people, we have seen President Barrow and members of his government concentrate more on politics, making all sorts of derogatory statements against the opposition leadership. We have also seen how several NPP militants and supporters are usually mobilized to join the large entourage, costing the Gambian taxpayers millions of dollars, which could have been put into more productive areas of the economy. In addition to the unnecessary wastage of public funds, we have also seen the negative ripple effects that the toll usually has on many public institutions, with many of their roadworthy vehicles being impounded to join the toll, with most of those institutions being left paralyzed during the period. What is also obvious is that most of these vehicles are allocated to NPP militants who have virtually no role in a state-sponsored tour, apart from just taking advantage of the free money and resources available to mobilize for their party. As a state-sponsored tour, one would have expected that it would have been quite inclusive of everyone, regardless of political affiliation. However, it is quite obvious that only those identified with the NPP are welcome, and all attempts by others not seen to be associated with the party to participate in the tour have been rebuffed. We have all seen examples of how those members of the opposition, such as the National Assembly members and area councillors who attempted to get involved, ended up being humiliated. A good case in point was when in 2021 the former National Assembly member for Nyamina East constituency, Omar Sise, attended one such meeting in Kudang as representative of the area, and how he was subjected to quite harsh treatment, making it quite clear to him that he was not welcome there, even though it was supposed to be a state-sponsored occasion. As a result of such humiliation, most opposition officials have now avoided attending functions associated with the tour. It certainly does not make much sense at all for the president to visit an area and the representative of the people of that area is not given the opportunity to participate in any function taking place there. This is yet another clear manifestation that there is no genuine attempt by President Barrow and his government to address the problems of the rural people during the tour. But instead, they are just unfairly using state resources to consolidate their political grip on the country. Another trend being observed in the tour is the resurgence of different communities competing to donate their livestock and other hard-earned resources to the president, which we all denounced during the Jammeh and Sadauda eras.
I think it's fair to say that if Demba Ali Jawo or D.A. Jawo had his way, the Meet the People tour would be scrapped. That was an opinion piece by Demba Ali Jawo, D.A. Jawo, actually President Barrow's first information minister. Beautifully read for us there, as always, by Lamin Cham.
Looking for an establishment where value for money and unrivaled services with admirable turnaround time is guaranteed? The Port of Banjul is the perfect place for you. A vital gateway for trade offering connections to numerous global destinations. With improved infrastructure combined with a flexible tariff, the Port of Banjul remains a vital node in maritime trade. Along with its dedicated workforce, efficient service delivery, technology-inspired innovation, and an impressive record in handling all type of cargo, the Port of Banjul is also widely acknowledged as one of the safest ports on the continent, with no history of piracy. As a major player in the region's maritime trade, accounting for 90% of all imports and exports, we are more than just a transit point, but a vital cog in the global trade sphere. Come experience a hassle-free fast customs clearance inspired by our simplified trade documentation procedures, safe and efficient cargo and vessel handling. The Port of Banjul offers prompt, reliable and value-for-money service, and customer satisfaction is guaranteed.
Later this morning, one of Barrow's spokespersons will join me to reflect on day one of the tour. Now, before leaving Banjul, the president attended to some pressing state matters, including filling vacancies in his cabinet, launching a new women's policy, and inaugurating a new women's council. Let me read you the press release on the appointments first. The general public is hereby informed that His Excellency, the President, has created a new ministerial portfolio within the office of the President. Alongside this role, the new minister will also serve as the Chief of Staff to the President, a position now removed from the public service framework. As Chief of Staff and Minister at the Presidency, the officer or the office holder will serve as a key advisor and administrator to the President, ensuring efficient coordination of presidential priorities, engagements, and functions. The Chief of Staff will ensure the President's decisions are effectively implemented across all relevant ministries and departments. Additionally, the Minister will oversee the daily operations of the Office of the President and coordinate the work of presidential advisors, ensuring their recommendations align with the President's agenda. Accordingly, and acting under Section 71 of the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, His Excellency the President is pleased to appoint Modke Sise as Chief of Staff and Minister at the Presidency, effective from the 18th of November 2024. Additionally, in accordance with Section 71 of the Constitution, the President has appointed Dr. Habibatu Drame as the Minister of Basic and Secondary Education and Mr. Lamin Jabi as the Minister of Communication and Digital Economy. In a similar vein, the President, acting under Section 80 of the Constitution, has decided to merge the roles of Secretary General and Head of the Civil Service and Secretary to the Cabinet. This merger aims to enhance efficiency in fulfilling these traditionally separate roles. Accordingly, and acting under Section 168 of the Constitution, President is pleased to appoint Ali Njai as Secretary to Cabinet and Head of Civil Service, effective from the 15th of November 2024. And of course, President Barrow did all that after launching a new women's policy and inaugurating a new women's council at the Sadauda Kairaba Jawara International Conference Center on Monday, an event attended for coffee time by Abubakar Jallo.
The Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare has launched the new gender policy 2025 to 2034 and also the inauguration of the National Women's Council 2024 to 2029. indicating their strong commitment to advance the gender equality and rights of women, girls and vulnerable groups, and to eliminate gender disparities in education, reduce maternal mortality, improve reproductive health services, and promote gender-sensitive healthcare. Honorable Fatou S. Kinte, Minister of Gender, Children and Social Welfare, said this significant occasion represents a pivotal moment in the country's commitment to advocate gender equality, women empowerment, and creating more inclusive and equitable society for all in the country.
The gender policy we are launching today is grounded on several key objectives that are aligned with the Gambia's Recovery Focus National Development Plan 2023-2027 and international commitments made by the government of the Gambia to protect the welfare of women and girls. This policy underscores an unwavering commitment and dedication to promoting gender equality, combating gender-based violence, enhancing women's economic empowerment, promoting women's leadership and participation in decision-making positions, improving access to quality education and healthcare, and addressing gender in the context of climate change.
His Excellency President Adama Barrow said, women empowerment is globally recognized as a cornerstone as a nation's progress and prosperity, adding that this makes his government very much alive to the fact that gender equality is key to delivering all sustainable development goals.
Committedly, the government maintains that women and girls must enjoy their rights to education, health services, justice, security, and economic resources. These include access to markets and the right to property. We are determined, therefore, to protect their rights through legal and policy instruments that provide a blueprint for women's empowerment and development. With this in mind, it gives me great honor to be here to officially launch the Gambia National 10-year Gender Policy 2025-2034 and to inaugurate the 2024-2029 National Women Council.
Councillor Aissatou Dia Sawane highlighted one of her challenges during her tenure and some of the achievements the President has done, and also urged the President to consider the lady councillors.
The COVID-19 being the main one that set us back 2.5 years. Your Excellency, you achieved a lot, nationally and internationally. But the latest achievement, sir, was during the non-repeal of the Women's Amendment Act on FGM. Your Excellency, the lady councillors, in terms of command, if you go to the district, it is the SAFO, the Alcalo, and the lady councillor. Even if a dog dies or a mouse got sick, go to the lady councillor. The lady councillors don't have no kind of remuneration. Our council sittings put together in the year is not even $13,000, Your Excellency, considering the work that we do. I'm asking, part of the powers that I have now, please consider doing something for the lady councillors.
In January 2019, a new Minister of Women, Children and Social Welfare was established by government and mandated to coordinate the affairs of women, children and social welfare to be in line with the international best practice. This was later changed to the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare. The current structure of the ministry strengthening coordination, capacity building, and enhance the resources of the national machinery for the advancement of women and girls. To speed up the process and attain greater achievements in the implementation of gender equality and women's empowerment, the ministry developed a revised gender policy 2024 to 2033. Reporting for West Coast Radio, I am Abubakar M. Jallo.
And I am Peter Gomez, live on West Coast Radio on Tuesday, the 19th of November. After the break, I'll take you to the phone.